Dear students, welcome to this new video tutorial of our programming series, that is web programming using ASP.NET. So students, in this particular video tutorial, we are going to see an exciting concept of ASP.NET state management. Yes, we are into our state management series. So we have seen the concept, we have seen the basic theory, we have seen advantages, disadvantages, and we have also seen real world applications of query string. If you have not seen that particular video, you can click the I button above or link is given in the description box. Now we will quickly switch back to our IDE where this particular topic will be illustrated by programming way. So now let's quickly go to IDE. So we are into our IDE, which is Visual Studio. We have already created a website which named as ASP.NET demo website, where I illustrated you response objects. So default and destination are the pages for response object. As of now, we don't need them. So I close it over here. I'll go for creating a new web page or adding a new web page to this particular website. So I will right click on the root directory. I'll click on this add button. I'll go for web form, and rather than default to, I will write qs underscore sender.aspx. Now qs stands for query string, and as it is a sender page, so qs underscore sender. Mind that you must have this tick enabled which says place the code in separate files. So your VB or C# code and your ASPX code will be in the separate file. In this case, we are using Visual Basic, as you can see over here, and I'll click on this add button. As soon as I will click on this add button, I will have a blank form. This division tag is of no use, so I will be deleting this. Then after, I will give title, let us say query string sender page. So that is the title. Now things we will do is send single static data. We will also see send multiple static data. Then the third thing I will illustrate you is send single dynamic data, and then after we will say, just copy and paste over here, rather than static I'll say dynamic data, right? So these are the four concepts of query string that we will see. The only difference of syntax will be while sending the data. So we will see these four variations over here. On the receiver side, the things and the syntax will be the same, right? So first of all, we'll go for sending the single static data. To break it out, I am giving BR tag, that will be the break tag for this particular page. Now to send the static data, I will straight away give static data in my URL. So I'm just giving a button over here. So in the toolbox, you will find all the controls of ASP.NET, and from that we will have button. So I just double clicked on this. It gave me the button with ID button 1 and text button. So I'll say send query string data, right? So the UI will look like this, where we are having just a simple button send query string data. While I'll click on this button, the data will be sent from one page to another page, or sender page to destination page, right? So we are already having sender page, but if you can go in the solution explorer, we do not have query strings destination page. This destination page is for the response object, right? So again, I will repeat the process of adding the item or adding a web form, and I'll rename this to qs underscore destination, I say, right? The tag is already there, and click on this add button. Again, this div tag is of no use. I'll go for this. I'll go in the source. I'll copy this particular thing, so I do not have to write it again and again. And over here, I will write destination page. Okay. So now we are having destination page. We are having a sender page where I will send the data. But now, before going into the coding, where this data will be printed on destination page, it has to be printed in some control. As it is a data, it has to be there in some control. For that, we are having a label, right? Because a label holds a single data. So let us say LBL data is the ID of this label, and the data will be, or the text will be dynamic. So as of now we are not carrying any text for this. So as soon as I will click on this button while running a practical, the data will be sent to destination page, and as soon as this page will be arrived or this page will be visited and executed, answer should be in the label. So if I go in the design of this, right, as the data will be printed on the label when this particular page will be visited, so on which event I should have the coding of receiving the data. So yes, the answer has been already given by me. As soon as this destination page will be loaded, so we will have a page load event. Now page load event can be made by two things. As it is a body, I'll just double click over here, double left click on any of the part of this particular area. It will give me a page load event which says Bible sender as object and ES event ARGS, but as discussed we do not need this particular parameters and arguments, so I have deleted it. If you do not want to create page load event that way, you can go for page events over here, and then after in declarations you can go for load, right? As we have already discussed, all the web page lifecycle related events are available in the here, right? Again, these parameters are of no use, so I have deleted it. So that is the half work done of all the basic data, or all the basic code has been done, right? Now what we will do, we will send the data. Now when this particular data will be sent? Yes, whenever we will click on this button. So the code of sending the data, which we have seen in the theory of this particular concept, right, has to be done on this button or event of this button, right? So we will create click event of this button. How I created that? Just double click on that and it will create a click button. Again, this parameter list is of no use for us as of now, so we have deleted it. And if you can recall the syntax of sending the data, as we are sending the data along with the page, we will say response.redirect, in the double quotes I will give the destination. Now to avoid the error of spellings, right, what I'll do, I'll just right click on this, I'll rename this, then after I will click on this and then I will paste it over here. So I cannot have any sort of error typing the URL or page name. Now QS underscore sender and QS underscore destination, both the pages are in the same label. That's why I have not given any this kind of or this kind of, you can say, URL or strings. So QS underscore destination dot ASPX. Now if we call this, or if we execute this line, the redirection will happen. QS underscore sender will navigate from itself to QS underscore destination. But where is the data? Where is the query string? So as we have seen in the video, we will append question mark. Then after a key name, let us say key name is key1 is equals to, what will be the value? As of now we are sending single static value, so I am writing ASP.NET, right? As this complete thing is in the double quotes, we do not have to specify any double quotes over here because it is already in the form of string, as the name suggests, query string. So as soon as user or end user will click on this button, response.redirect will happen. It will take the control from this page to this page, which is QS underscore destination, and then after we will also appoint key1.asp.net, right? Now on the receiver side, I must be printing this data, and data has to be printed on label. So ID of label, that is LBL underscore data dot text equals to, now we have to fetch the URL, or we have to fetch the data of query string from the URL. So I'm requesting the query string, so I'll write request dot query string in the bracket with double quotes the key name, which is key1, right? So I will append toString as I already stated in the video. Then after, I already stated over there that toString works with VP and VB also works without toString. So we will remove this. Clear? So now what we will do is we will run this particular page. Again, we have not enabled debugging, so it will give me a dialog box and I will click on run without debugging, right? So now my page is being executed, which is qssender.aspx. As it is being executed for the first time, assembly is being created. We are having this sort of thing, right? Now I have already zoomed the data. So first of all, we are seeing send single static data. As soon as I will click on this button, response.redirect will happen. So now you can say response.redirect has happened. Query string destination page is there. You can see query string ASPX question mark key 1 equals to ASP.NET, and that particular value has been pasted over here or displayed over here. So that way we can create query string, we can send static data, single static data. Now I will show you how to send multiple data. So to send multiple data, what we'll do is append with ampersand. So key 2 is equals to, let us say, IT5, because ASP.NET in the IT5, right? So now we have appended this data with ampersand, and I will run this page again. So ASP.NET runs QS underscore sender response.redirect with two data, because we have appended multiple data. You can append n numbers of data with the limit of URL. So I'll click on this button. As you can see, key 1 is equals to ASP.NET and key 2 is equals to IT5. But we are having only one answer over here. Why? Yes, because we are having only one label over here in ASP.NET. So I'll quickly go and add another label that will be for data 2. So now I'll make it data 1 and I'll make it LBL data 2. Again, the text of this thing is not necessary, so I'll delete it. And some minor modification will be LBL data 1. I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here, data 2 and key 2, right? Now we will run this page again. Now I'll send this data. So again, key 1 ASP.NET and key 2 IT5, both the things or both the data has been printed over here, right? Now that was the part of single static data and sending multiple static data. So we are ending this particular part of illustrating the program in our IDE, and we will switch back to our normal things.
So I hope you have thoroughly understood this particular topic of query string. Let's give a quick recap of what we have learned in this particular tutorial. So we have seen the basic concept of query string, where we can send data from one page to another page. There is no way through which we can send data from one page to another page without using state management concept, right? So using query string, which is a state management concept, we can send data from page 1 or A to page 2, or let us say page B, right? We have seen how to send static single value, how to send static multiple values. Apart from this, in our theory portion of query string, we have seen advantages, disadvantages and all these things. So this is it for today's video of learning, but we are not ending this tutorial as of now. Now we will see some MOOC questions or brain twisters that can be useful for preparation of this topic, for preparation of your examination, as well as preparation of your interview. So this can be considered as interview questions as well. So the questions has been listed over here already. So the question is, what is query string? Your next question is, what is the scope of query string? How many values a query string can store? Which type of state management query string is, right? What are the advantages of query string? What are the disadvantages of query string? So we are ending this tutorial. I hope you will like this video. Thank you for watching this video. Like my video, share the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.